Andy Frasco, Todd Glass. Wow. I have an idea for a song. I never do that to you. People say, oh, Todd, I have an idea for a joke. I'm like, oh, fuck. But why can't people be excited about, not only okay with it? It's so boring. Oh, I'm okay with the transgender thing. Some people, it doesn't annoy them, but why can't people be excited about it? You should look at it that way. Like, this is just one slice of the sexual fucking revolution. The non-binary or the transitioning. They're two huge slices of it. If I wasn't people should be excited about it. Like, oh, I'm glad I'm young enough. I'm glad I can join in and enjoy this fucking revolution of shredding the confines of what we can fucking do. You can be a straight white male and still benefit by shredding the confines of what we're supposed to do and wear and like, and it's all taught to us. I know some friends that it doesn't bother them, or they'll point out the problems they have with it. Maybe you have time to point out the problems because you're not seeing the big, wonderful, great part of it. You should be stoked to be able to be a part of it, not fight it. You can start the song with that speech, and then you just come right in with the horns and say, I got something here. Put some music to this. Do something for me.
Woo! On that fucking game today. What's up, Nick?
Hi, I'm here.
Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. My co-host, my fearless co-leader, Nicholas Gerlach.
I don't want to be your co-leader. I'm more like just...
I feel like we're a team.
We are a team, but you're more important than me, and I'm okay with that. And that's how you make a good team. You have a clear leader who knows they're in charge.
Well, God, I fucking missed you.
Sidemen like me are valuable because we know we're not the leader. If you need me to be the leader for 10 minutes here and there, I can do that. You know?
You're helping us with our Patreon. Let's go. We got a Patreon.
I wrote all the copy for it.
You wrote a bunch of copy for it?
Remember, yeah, you okayed it already.
We are setting up a Patreon, and it's almost done, right?
Yeah,
I have pretty much done. I just got to...
I finished my first content for it. Actually, we have all the first week's content.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I was thinking we put that out as like a gift to track
just signing
people.
up.
Yeah, like maybe like put, especially just to attract people to it a little bit. Here's what you get, you know?
Yeah. So sign up for our Patreon when it's ready.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I had a bunch of great shit. I played a lot of shows, and then also...
Fool's Paradise looked fun as shit.
Yeah.
It's all my friends I like.
I leave for the Boston Celtics game tomorrow.
I know. What are you going to wear? You can't not wear a Lakers jersey.
I bought a Lakers
like
Jason
you might
Tatum
get physically
jersey.
assaulted if you wear the wrong thing.
It's also kind of fucking petty.
It's Boston.
And yeah, this is a
It's
chance
petty
to
of
win
you.
It's petty of me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying they'd be petty.
No, it's petty of me to like roll in there and like
that's so
take
petty.
the fame when they're in a championship game. It's petty.
Like your team didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm maturing on that level.
I'm loving watching Lakers fans just fucking have crisis on Twitter this week.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
You were like, what if we drafted Tatum? I was like, shut up. He's from L.A. I was like, that's not how... Do you think the Cavs would have passed on LeBron if he was from like Maryland? I don't think so. Well, we were going to take the greatest athlete prospect we've seen in 30 years, but he's not from here.
Yeah. What if like booking shows was like drafting?
It'd probably be more justice than it, and probably more fair. If you got booked on how talented you are instead of like who your dad is.
I interviewed Wheeler Walker and we were talking about that shit.
Yeah, like what?
Wheeler Walker Jr. is so anti-mainstream music.
I know,
and he's like really about that life.
No, like I listened to him on one of those podcasts, and he was like just bad mouthing Blake Shelton for like 10 minutes of it.
Oh, he was bad mouthing Nashville. Brooks. He was like, I hate Nashville. I walk around the streets of Nashville. I'm just disgusted. And I'm like,
he would hate Denver, I bet.
He would hate Denver.
It's the same thing as Nashville, kind of just a different kind of music, right?
Yeah, totally.
And like we're like the live music, and they're like the studio shit, you know.
He was like, "How did you get those tickets to the Boston game?" I'm like, "Because I'm in the jam scene. I just sneak in, I sneak in through the window or the back door because no one gives a fuck about anyone in the jam scene."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm like, whew. But anyway, we can't talk shit about Nashville because it's Bonnaroo. It's the last week. Bonnaroo is this weekend. I'm excited. I got my game face on.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Woo! Bonnaroo.
Have you played it before? Oh no,
we were supposed to play, and it got rained out, and I had to. We threw a festival at a Mediterranean restaurant on the lawn.
Wow,
funny shit.
Yeah, a lot of people came to it though, right?
It was a lot of fun. Me and Big Something, they're like, let's throw a festival for the people who got stuck in Manchester, Tennessee.
You got back on it this year?
Yeah, they invited us back. Shout out.
What day do you play?
Bookers. I play Thursday at 1 a.m. Big show.
That's actually
on
fun.
One of the big one of the biggest stages.
That's different. That's Bonnaroo. That's perfect.
It's a huge weekend for us because then it's Red Rocks. You want to sit in with us?
So you have a little day off in between.
Yeah, but I have to
do something probably, but it's nice.
Oh, I'm doing some panel with a bunch of publicists and we talk about the music industry.
Why would you go to that at a festival? It's like going to a basketball game and then going to a general manager's
I don't know,
meeting.
maybe for the air conditioning?
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's a very good reason.
Let's go.
I want to be on some panels. I want to be on a panel at a festival.
The shit-talking panel with Nick Gerlach.
No. Honesty panel.
The honesty panel.
Yeah. You should all quit.
I heard you almost got hit by a car.
Yeah, this weekend. It wasn't like a bad almost hit. I was like crossing a very side street.
What kind of bad luck do you have these last couple weeks?
Hold on. This is not the funny part of it, okay? I'm crossing the street. This guy's kind of stopped at a stop sign. It's like a little side street. He's like down fucking with his radio. Just starts to roll up again. I'm like in front of the car. I hit the front of his car. I was like, dude. He starts freaking out. Very apologetic. I was like, relax, dude. I'm not mad at you. You're fine. It was
I'm
an
already
accident.
in one lawsuit.
I'm already, yeah. I thought
I can't have another lawsuit on me.
I thought about showing up in a neck brace for the podcast every week. Anyway, so I come around the car. I go, yo, it's fine. Like he was freaking out, and I was like, calm I am all the time. So I was like, dude, relax, it's fine. I go to dap him, and he puts his hand up to dap me, and he doesn't have a hand. I didn't have a hand. I still dapped him though.
That's dope. He was driving with his one hand.
Yeah, he's just left hand only.
My parents used to be so pissed at me when I used to drive with just one hand on the bottom. Like, put your fucking hand on both sides of the wheel.
Of all the things in your life, that's what they're yelling at you about. How about you keep both your hands off your dick? Yeah, so he didn't have a hand, and I went to dap him, and I still dapped him, and he looked at me like, damn, that was kind of tight that I didn't even flinch at it.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a person.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's dope. I bet.
So, yeah, I didn't really get hit by a car, but yeah.
Damn, what if you did get hit by a car?
It'd be pretty funny. The timing of it. I mean, yeah.
You're already fucked up. Your hips are fucked up right now.
My back's jacked. My chiropractor went to town on me this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, then she cracked my back. Boom, got her.
Do you think chiropractic
I'm just kidding.
Is healthy for you?
I think there's different kinds of chiropractors out there, and you got to be careful. The one I'm going to is like at a medical pain facility where there's like nurse practitioners and doctors. There's also other chiropractors that are like completely holistic, would never, you know what I mean? Like they won't prescribe medicine. They're like going a witch doctor-y kind of.
That's been my new binging thing.
Chiropractors?
I watch all these chiropractors crack people's backs all day.
Dude, she gets my neck so good. She says my neck. She said I have really good upper back posture, though. It's probably from playing sax.
Yeah. Teaching it. So go to Bonnaroo.
Go to Bonnaroo. I never been. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look awesome. I like festivals that have this like cult following, but it's a big cult following. Bonnaroo feels like a festival in Europe.
It does? No.
Just like how the vibe just feels very Europe-y.
It's big.
It's huge, but it's fun, and it doesn't feel too intimidating. Like it sounds way better than fucking Coachella.
Coachella just seems like an Instagram festival.
Coachella sounds like the fucking worst.
Dude, I've noticed that all the real famous people that go there wear like sweatpants.
Yeah.
And then all the people who are trying to get famous spend like 3 months playing their outfit. And then they show up and Kim Kardashian's just there in like a trash bag on her phone. It's like, you guys are trying too hard.
Hold on. Going back to this almost getting hit by a car.
Yeah, no hand.
Were you just oblivious? Were you on those dialed-in gummies?
No, he was oblivious.
Were you on your phone?
No, I was listening to a book on tape, having a little walk. I've been reading more and listening to books on tape. I'm an expert on.
Have you been eating those dialed-in gummies during the day?
Not really during the day. I like to right about 8 p.m. I'll eat 2, and then I'll eat like 2 more around 10 p.m. And then
they are the best for sleeping. Go buy some dialed-in gummies, Colorado. If you're in the Colorado area, there's all these different brands. I've been eating them. Okay, I got a thing. Here's a new. I love Ambien.
Ugh. It's bad.
And it's bad for you.
Well, there's a reason you love it. It's because it's a very powerful drug that's very effective.
It makes you sleep so good.
I know where you got it from, and I know who's...
Don't tell.
I'm not going to tell. That's why I'm saying I know.
Blow the source.
But, yeah.
But I feel like dialed-in gummies can give me that same effect of
in a
getting
much healthier
sleep in a much healthier way than being... I heard you get addicted to Ambien.
I think you can get addicted to... I think you can get addicted to pretty much anything in some way. But Ambien, any kind of pharmaceutical, right?
Yeah. And I've never... This is my first time in my life
That's
where
that Tiger
I feel
Woods.
like I'm not smoking as much weed and I'm just eating it. And I feel so much healthier because I'm not just... Because, I smoke a lot of cigarettes. So, like, if I'm smoking a lot of cigarettes and smoking a lot of weed, I feel like I just trash my voice. But now I feel like I'm singing better because I'm not smoking as much. I'm eating weed. And it's always that I do it on the plane where I eat one. And then it just, I kind of like, you could feel it coming on and then it just never... It slows down, and I never had that effect on edibles. So get yourself some dialed-in gummies, right?
I mean, they're the cleanest.
Yeah.
No solvents.
Yeah. Everyone's been asking me, hey, man, because they're all sold out everywhere. They're like, hey, man, can you get me a can?
I've had a bunch of people.
Can I get a can? Can I get a can?
No.
They're like fiends. I'm like, I ended up giving all my cans away, and I don't have any. I don't have one to promote it.
I'm picking some up like after this.
I know. Oh, yeah. Will you give me a couple?
Yeah, but you're leaving.
I leave tomorrow, but
All right, well.
I want to bring them on the plane.
I want to bring them on the plane.
I want to know what plane is. Okay, so
What?
what's
up with you and Floyd right now?
What do you mean?
You're not getting along or what?
We get along very well right now.
Well, I can't tell if you hate each other. Okay. First, I see him tormenting you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start actually with the group chat.
Okay.
I'm in their group chat, everybody, still from Fall Tour. It's funny. Every 2 hours, I see, Floyd, where the fuck are you? We're getting on the plane. Where the fuck are you? And then, sound check, Floyd, where the fuck are you? And then, like, hey, we're getting dinner. And Floyd's like, I'm not hungry. And then, like, it just seems like he's just wandering around. And then he's doing videos, like, asking you about the Celtics because, like, he's trying to fuck with you because you're a Lakers fan. But it's like, he can't name any basketball player. And he probably can't even tell you what color a basketball is. He doesn't even know where if you're like, where are the Boston Celtics from? He probably wouldn't know. But then I see a picture, Bo.
What picture?
Of you guys making out on stage at Fool's Paradise.
That's a good one.
What the fuck's going on between you guys?
I really think we love each other.
I mean, love and hate do come from the same place, I think.
He's been looking into my eyes a little differently than ever before. I think that's a romantic photo.
I think you are way more into that kiss than he is.
I was ready for it.
Dude,
but he's been kissing me now.
Dude, you look like you're kissing your long-lost love after you got home from World War II. Like,
I mean, I fucking love Floyd.
You look like a midshipman back from the Pacific Theater.
You never met my old trombone or my own tuba player, Arno, from the Netherlands. Where he's like a 50-year-old man. He used to beat the shit out of me on stage.
I know who I've seen. I saw one time... before I knew you, it was kind of like it's like, ugh, you're playing the bluebird and he put his foot in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't care. But I love Floyd because he is a brilliant musician.
That's the thing about Floyd. He is a fucking sick musician.
He's brilliant.
You never know it because he's in your band, but he is a very good musician. There it is. You got to
whoa. Hey. Cut the fucking brakes
here. He's working more than I am, people. Anyway. But he is a badass. I mean, he plays bass, so it's hard to tell. But
he scores TV shows.
He does all kinds of cool shit.
He scores documentaries.
I don't understand how he gets any of that shit done. I don't understand.
During the day. In the van. You've seen him he builds a studio in the van.
No. I understand time-wise. I don't understand, like, mentally. Like, it's like he doesn't even know what room he's in half the time.
Right.
The guy likes to party.
I know.
Let's not dance around that.
No, we're not going to dance.
The guy likes to have a few bevies.
Yeah, he loves the IPAs.
I think when he's home, he's like has to be Mr. Dad, Mr. Sober. So when he gets on the road, he like goes ham.
Yeah, that's my his poor. We're going to his wedding. It's his wedding. I can't
believe that a woman is marrying that man.
I know. After 9 years of being with him and had a kid with him.
I mean, she tried the product.
He's like, so you want to get married or something?
So
I wish booking agencies are like that, like Repsy.com.
Repsy.com, we love you over here.
Repsy.com, go get your band signed up.
First, eat a couple dialed-in gummies.
Eat a couple dialed-in gummies if you're in Colorado. But if you're not in Colorado, don't worry about it. They'll be there soon.
We'll be there soon.
sign up. Go to Repsy.com. Sign your band up. Sign your independent venue up. Sign your if you're a wedding planner, get on there.
Stripper? Do they strippers
Kathy
yet?
from Illinois, get out there and sign up for Repsy.com.
Are they doing strippers yet? Or sex workers?
That's entertainment.
Why aren't you guys, Repsy, get sex workers on there?
Yeah.
Come on, it's 2022.
Oh, man.
If OnlyFans can make all this money, why aren't you getting in? Get people on OnlyFans. Take 10% of that.
Yes, make your money, Repsy.
Come on.
So sign up, Repsy.com. Your booking agents need all the help they can get.
Unfortunately.
This is cannibalism.
Not if you're John Bongiorno.
John Bongiorno's the GOAT. He doesn't need help.
That
But
guy's the man.
Repsy.com will help every other booking agent.
Yeah.
And you just need extra help in this music industry. It's getting worse and worse.
Every day it
Goddamn
gets
day
worse.
in this music industry. It kind of makes me sad how depressing the music industry is right now.
No one will question you if you quit.
What, me
But if you
quitting?
don't quit, use Repsy.
Nobody will question it if you
Yeah.
quit, but if
We
you
get
don't
it.
quit, use Repsy.
We get it. You want to go home, work for your dad's insurance
Damn,
company?
that needs to be the plug.
That's a good plug. Repsy, hit me up.
So sign up for Repsy.com. We're about to announce our European tour. A lot of stuff. And guess who is going to be the saxophone player of the European tour?
I got to learn all.
Nick
Ernie's-
Gerlach.
Oh, God. I don't know what you're going to make me do.
2 weeks of European Frasco tour. It's a lot. Touring in Europe is a lot harder.
It's going to be hard, I think. Yeah.
It's a lot harder. Bo is going to have a lot of.
Is Bo going?
Bo is going, but we're bringing a person who speaks
That's
the
what
language.
I thought. They usually have like a Euro tour manager too.
Yeah,
right?
I can't. I'm not going to throw my boy Bo into
who
the
dri-
fucking
who drives?
curveball world.
How do you drive over there?
We have a sprinter.
Who drives it?
I do.
Oh, you can drive over there?
Mm-hmm. I do it. Niels does it. Those are the only two that do it. The only problem is they don't do trailers out there because all the streets are so small.
You backline every day or something?
No, we have to put our gear in the sprinter and take half of the sprinter. So it's just like a 7-piece band in.
Okay. So have I officially committed to this tour yet? No, I'm cool. It's gonna be cool to just get in there and get some culture.
You never been to Germany or Netherlands?
I've never been to Germany. I've never even really played it. I've only been over there for like family shit.
It's gonna be awesome.
I got a ton of family.
And we're going to the UK, Manchester and London
I'm gonna try and see if I got some fame over there. They'll come out.
and Paris.
Paris.
I'm gonna try to get on. I'm gonna try to get the high-speed train.
The
Do you have any
bullet train?
like fucking? You're from London, aren't you? Or
My mom's from England.
do they have any cousins who have backline gear?
No, they're all real people. I'm going to storm the beach at Normandy when we get there, just like my ancestors did, to prove that the United States is still a dominant force in the world.
They're not.
Well, we are, but it doesn't mean we're good, though.
I heard this thing that our balls aren't working, or our sperm's not working anymore.
Where are you reading this shit, man?
I
People are
heard
having babies every 10 minutes.
No, but Americans' population rate keeps lowering.
Oh, I think it's because we're not fucking. It's not because our sperm doesn't work.
No, because we're putting all this shit in our bodies
SSRIs and stuff.
and having our phones on our dicks and
it's all this
shit.
antidepressant medicine.
Oh, the antidepressant.
SSRIs do that to you. You can't get boners.
Yeah. Anyway, we gotta
All right,
go.
we're done.
I'm going on a hike. This is my last day in Denver for a couple weeks, and I need to go on a hike. So, guys,
Are you not coming back before Red Rocks at all?
I'm not coming back until Red Rocks
Where are you
night
gonna-
Friday.
Why? Are you just going to stay?
I'm going to Nantucket for Floyd's wedding,
And then what?
And then I'm flying to Nashville to start writing my new record.
Oh, sick. With who?
I got a lot of songwriters I'm writing with. Maybe
Hartswick?
Yeah, Sierra Farrell.
Is she the nomadic
I got
one?
Matt Warren, Paul McDonald.
Oh, I've heard of him.
It's going down. I'm really excited.
Oh, McDonald. How do I...
Paul is awesome. He wrote Spill the Beans with me.
like that kind of?
He was like on
Or is that a different guy?
American Idol.
See the guy that sings real high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, they're talking out
Yeah, okay.
downstairs.
Thank you
Let's
for being
get-
a friend.
all right.
Do it.
All right, cool. Guys, have a great week. Stay happy. Stay inspired. Bo, what are you going to do for a week, bud? You got a new house. When you moving into your new house? You moving this weekend?
Damn. You already got some ladies coming over?
Damn, it's an end of an era. I know, you'll be here every day.
Dude, let's do a solo pod, me and you next week.
Dude, use the gear, dude.
I might come over and just get geared up.
Yeah, dude, this is what happens.
I think we should post my first demotivational Wednesday.
Okay. We'll get everyone to sign up to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a great week. All right, next up on the interview hour, we have Goth Babe. Yes. This was a great interview. I didn't know too much about Goth Babe going into the interview, and then at the end of it, we became close friends. He's a nomad. He loves his free time. He loves traveling. He lives in a van most of the time. He lives in San Diego now, and his music has got this like, he started playing punk music, and then now it's got this like indie EDM feel, and it's pretty badass. And the guy was super sweet. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy my next installment on the Bonnaroo Music Festival episode, Goth Babe. Kid, what's up, Griff? How we doing, buddy?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Where you at?
Currently, I'm in Encinitas. I just got done surfing, and I'm just in the parking lot outside the beach, and there's actually decent service here, so
let's
excited
go.
to do it here.
Let's stoked. I've read up about you, and you are obsessed with the road like I am. What's your fascination with being on the road, and how that philosophy of life has changed your life versus when you were a model? I got a lot of things I want to talk to you about.
Oh, God. Oh, no. He knows the deep, darkest secrets.
I know all of them, buddy. I can't wait to talk to you about this, because let's talk about the road first. What made you fall in love with the road?
I grew up with my dad, who loves kayaking and mountain biking, and he owns like this kids camp. And so during the summertime, I'd go to this kids camp, and it was like Never Ever Land.
Yeah.
And so I feel like on the road, you're able to just do all those things, of the outdoor things that I grew up doing. At the same time, too, it's like summer vacation, man. It's like you're able to go wherever you want, whenever you want, and nobody is telling you like can't be somewhere at a certain time. And all you need is like a camping spot and a place to be that night, some food, and you're good to go. So many free places to camp too. So
how important is freedom to you?
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Super important. Yeah. Like whenever I tour, I try and get my touring agency to allow me to tour as little as possible and still have like time on the road. And yeah, man, I love my freedom. It's great.
That's awesome, man. What's a place you discovered you think everyone should know about?
Gosh, I want to say I'm going to blow up the spot, which is okay, but
blow it up, bud.
Yeah, dude. Oregon Coast, I'd say, is probably just such a legendary spot. Oregon Coast is such a beautiful place that's like not blown up yet. So,
don't you live out there or something, or are you part of the community out there?
I was, yeah. Like I lived outside of Portland and on a ranch for years. Would live on the coast in the summer in my van and stuff like that. But had a house fire in February and lost my little home I built. So I've been calling in San Diego home, man. I've got like a sailboat down here, and I was like, well, I guess the only other home I got is a sailboat. So bounced down here, and it's a great community here. So
yeah,
it's been good.
My family lives in Little Italy.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
I grew up in LA, California kid as well. You just threw a bomb in there. Your house burned down?
It did, yes.
What happened? Did you have any? Give me the scoop. What happened?
I built a tiny home in 2020 during the pandemic, maybe late 2019. Lived in the tiny home up until last February, and it was kind of like a home base. So I'd have my camper and I'd go out and enjoy the summer or go on tour, whatever. But yeah, I went to a Mandolin Orange concert, which they now go by Watch House.
Love them.
And their favorite band, dude.
Dude, fucked up story about them getting hit by a car and shit.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that tragedy.
I hope they're okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I saw some Insta story and their face all fucked up and shit. I'm like, oh my God, real shit.
Yeah, for real.
So you were at a Mandolin Orange concert, and what happened? You saw some. Did you get a
Spent the night at a friend's house in town. Like, basically, I brought my friend to this my tiny home that evening before the show, and was like, man, it was cold. And my tiny home, all the water was above ground. I had heated hoses and stuff, but it was like 19 degrees. You can only fight it for so long.
Right.
So my water froze, and I was like, I don't have any water tonight. My friend's like, come stay at my place. Like, it's totally fine. I was like, okay, fine. I'll come stay at your place, but I'm going to leave my dog here. And she was like, no, like, please bring your dog. And she insisted like 2, 3, 4 times. And I was like, fine, I'll bring the dog. So I brought Sadie with me. And yeah, dude, that night, like I woke up the next morning, multiple missed calls from so many people, neighbors, fire department, just answered this random phone number. And it's like, hello. And it was like, hey, as the, Gresham City Fire Department, your house, your little trailer thing burnt down. I'm just like, whoa, what?
Your little trailer thing. That's your home.
I'm like, my home? And it burnt down to the frame, dude. I was like, is there anything left? He's like, no. And dude, the first thing I did was like hug my dog and just so grateful that we had our lives. And
oh my God. That's so heavy, dude. What a fuck. Did you get the person some flowers or some chocolates for convincing you to bring your fucking dog with you, dude?
Yeah, it was like it was sort of like a fling that was going on, and we kept making jokes that it was like an indie film, because it was like we spent the next 3 or 4 days together, and my house burnt down, and I didn't have any clothes. I was just like clothes on my back, toothbrush. That's all I owned, So but I was super grateful for her and for being adamant on getting me out of the house and everything. So,
do you believe that the universe does these little things and it's up to us to realize to listen to them or not?
I'm still figuring that out, but I think so. Yeah. Like predestination in a sense, or more like, I do. Yeah.
It kind of, it's like a mixture, because I don't want to believe that everything is a simulation, because that kind of is depressing that someone's controlling us.
Yeah.
But also I like to think like, if we listen to, if we listen to the present, sometimes we're afraid to listen to the present. And when we finally do, God, it saved your dog's life, man.
Dude. Yeah. I think there's something looking out for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you want, but I think there's something that's like way bigger than us in some way, that's maybe putting its fingers in things and controlling things, maybe not controlling everything.
Yeah.
But I believe it's like made of good, and there's just like pure love and good intention behind whatever that thing is.
Let's fucking go. I like optimism. I like it, Griff. I like you already, bud. Yo, so before we get into the music, I got to know about this modeling career. You're a model for Calvin Klein.
No.
Like what? Like boxer model, like dick out, the whole thing, or like just like what do you got?
Gosh. I really wasn't a model at all, but it was like I was not a model. It was a 6-month I dropped out of college, didn't know what else to do, was making music, but got Instagram scouted by some company from LA, and they're like, hey, we're doing this Ralph Simmons. What's his name?
Ralph Lauren?
Ralph Lauren. Ralph Simmons?
I don't know.
Gosh.
Ralph Simmons. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's right. Our producer knows it. Yeah. Yeah, Ralph Simmons.
He's like a pretty well-known designer or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm a wook, man. I don't know nothing about this, but I'll figure it out.
I didn't either. But it was just like, hey, this is this Calvin Klein shoot. You should, we're interested in having you out. And the rest of the guys, once they flew me to Pittsburgh to do the shoot, it was in the Andy Warhol Museum.
Sick.
Gave us underwear, lined us all up like we were material objects, and we're like, looking at all of us. I had no fucking idea what I was doing, but everyone else was a model except for me. So by the first day, they were like, Griff, can you loosen your jaw up? I had no idea. So they kicked me off of the shoot within one day, and felt bad for me because they flew everybody else to Miami right after the shoot. It was like they flew all the models down to Miami. Like, well, we might have some cologne thing for you. So they flew me down there as well. Didn't use me at all. And I think I made like $3,000 or something. And I was like, sweet. So I moved to New York from Nashville with that Calvin Klein gig, which really wasn't a gig at all.
Well, I mean, that's like, destiny. Like did you like living in New York, and what made you before we talk about the New York years, I want to talk about what made you want to quit college.
Dude, I'm left brain, man. I just like I never was good at grades, could never I'm stupid in that sense, really smart in this other sense, but just stupid in that sense. So one was just like zero interest, super depressed. I went to a school outside of Nashville called MTSU, like Middle Tennessee State University, in the little town called Murfreesboro. And dude, multiple times a week, I would do the 1 hour drive to Nashville just to go like play little, bar shows, or I was getting really into the punk scene. So I would do these like just sick DIY crowd surfing, moshing shows for like 30 people. Sick. And got a manager. And so, yeah, it just didn't make sense to be going to school. And so just ended up dropping out and getting an apartment in Nashville and working at a restaurant and doing little like DIY tours in my SUV with other crusty 18-year-olds. And
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm in a band too. My first, I was into like, the punk scene as well. And I realized you couldn't make any money because there's 6 bands on each bill.
Dude, yes, exactly.
It's like you make $100. You're like, oh, I got to split this with all my dudes.
Yeah. And then everybody coming to the show doesn't have any money. So like, where's the money?
There's no merch. Yeah. Where's the money at? Where's the money at, Lebowski? So what fascinates you about the punk scene?
Oh man, I was really into like Ty Segall and the OCs and all those garage rock bands. Probably the freedom, man. Yeah. Like the crowd surfing, I'm trying to think of the words, man. Just chaos, like chaos in the most beautiful form at a show. Like everyone's just letting go of everything they have, whether that's through the mosh, the crowd surfing or whatever. And it's just fun, man. It's a good time. There's like no rules. I think that's the best part about it.
Yeah. And it's like, what was the first moment or the first show you saw that just opened your eyes to like, holy shit, I want to do this. This looks fucking amazing.
Probably going to like a Ty Segall show.
Yeah.
And like, I'm from Memphis, so this little venue called the High Tone, just crusty, nasty venue. Yeah. Sorry, High Tone, if you're watching this, you're a great venue. You're legendary.
High Tone is good. That's that's amazing. So like, what made you change from being a punker to eventually becoming this like electronic indie musician?
Dude, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I grew up listening to bands that maybe sound more similar to me now, and the punk thing was probably more of a phase. We grew up listening to like MGMT, Phoenix, Arcade Fire, Oberhofer, Dan Deacon, just like fun. Animal Collective. I was like experimental, kind of like at the time experimental alternative bands.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to what I'm doing now from what I grew up on, but I think the punk thing got me like really stoked about shows and the music industry, that type of music industry and the scene and everything. And it just kind of gradually went back to that electronic stuff.
Yeah. And it's very similar. Those scenes are to me, those scenes are very similar. You make more money being an electronic act than a punk band, but
dude,
I could see, didn't you just headline Red Rocks?
No, we're not, but potentially it's one day.
I have a feeling you will,
wink,
man.
Wink.
You're popping up everywhere, so it's awesome. It's so. What song was the first song when you started going into this different type of genre where you realized like, wow, this is really hitting home to me, and I'm starting to understand this whole scene a little more.
That I wrote?
Yeah.
Probably either Early Mornings or a song called Velvet Sheets. If you were to go back in my discography, it jumps pretty hard from like shoegazy punk to the electronic stuff. And I think maybe some of it had to do with like the resources I had.
Uh-huh.
I wrote Early Mornings in New York where I didn't have my guitars and all I had was a keyboard. So maybe that kind of helped me push me to the electronic stuff. But the song Velvet Sheets, like one of my things is like using a nylon string acoustic guitar on top of the electronic stuff. And that was just, I was moving away from New York, had all my stuff in my friend's apartment, was flying out back home to Tennessee the next day. and wrote this electronic instrumental and looked over, like looking for my guitar, didn't have it, but my friend had this nylon string in his bedroom. So I went and used that just out of necessity and was like, whoa, this is freaking sick.
Yeah.
So that's just been fun combining the, the acoustics with the electronic stuff.
Was it hard to keep your fan base going in the beginning when you changed music styles?
I didn't really have a fan base at all.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought,
yeah.
it was just like, so maybe we have that same philosophy. Like now as you're bigger and like, let's say you want to go back into the metal world or the punk scene. Do you think there's more pressure in your head, or do you think you could go back to that same philosophy when you didn't have a fan base and changing your sound? Or do you feel like the bigger you get, the more pressure it is to not change? If it ain't broke, it's not, don't fix it in a way.
Yeah. I'd say the last part. Yeah. I feel like it's a lot harder to make decisions now. The big decisions off of your music, Yeah. And I feel like back then it was a lot easier to experiment and be like, oh, well, I don't have my electric guitar to write a punk song. Let me see what just a keyboard and a MIDI controller will do. So that's definitely one of the bummers about like success in a sense, is like there's a little bit less freedom. And then just like pressure and stress on like, fuck, I have to play these shows. People depend on me to be somewhere. Whereas back in the day when it was, nobody knew who you were. It was almost a lot easier to write music.
Right. It's crazy, like you're such a guy about freedom and for your outlet to be music, and it feels like you're less free. Is that kind of fuck with your head a little bit?
It can. Yeah. I have tools that I try to like help with that problem. Like when I'm not touring, I delete social media and have my manager like change the password, so I'm not even tempted.
Hell yeah!
Because like, let's be honest, we're all hooked,
addicted.
Man. We're all addicted, And then I just like come to the beach every day. I just try to get back into like the community and try to become just like a dude walking the streets every day rather than like this musician, and I think that helps a lot, because then that's when I write music, is when I'm just like a dude in Encinitas with no social media,
Right, man. It's so funny once we like, do you believe in like open vessel syndrome, where like we write the best music is when we're completely open, and if it takes you surfing,
100%.
Give me an example when you tried to force a song versus when you didn't. What songs?
All the ones that were forced are not released.
Let's fucking go. That's my boy. Never settle, big dog. Never fucking settle. Let's go.
Oh man. Yeah. All the ones that are released are the ones that I definitely was in the moment, present, and just, yeah, dude, you can't try, and I think that's why a lot of musicians and artists and creatives are the most creative at nighttime, is because your present self like emerges in the night, like you have nothing to worry about in the future. So you're not anxious and you're just kind of sleepy. You're not worried about the past. You're just like totally present. And I feel like that's when the most stuff, comes about, and you're able to be the best creative you could be.
Yeah. Do you like, do you believe in that same philosophy and the reason why you love surfing so much, because it keeps you present?
For sure, man. Yeah. All those like mountain biking, surfing, you can't not be present, you have to be present to keep yourself alive and, and not fuck yourself up. So definitely
have you almost
the present moment is it.
Have you almost had any like near-death experiences doing all those extreme sports?
I'm a pretty like fair weather surfer, biker, all those things. Had like a pretty gnarly injury last year. I got like 2 concussions back to back from surfing, and did everything wrong because your brain's swollen basically, and like that's what happens when you get a concussion, is your brain swells a bit in your skull, and so did everything wrong. So I went into a plane and went to Hawaii. Like altitude makes your brain grow even more, right? So that's not good for you. Then I kept exercising, kept drinking and doing those things, and like drove across the country to go see my parents, and went up an elevation up. And in Utah, it was like just excruciating migraines. So that all came from 2 surfing accidents, like literally a year ago from this week or last week.
Holy shit. 2 in a row? And that's the thing about concussions.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, if someone doesn't tell you have a concussion, you just think it's like a hangover or like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And they're serious.
Exactly.
I mean, look at those football players, you know, who don't realize they have concussions or their coaches make them play. And then.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking gnarly, man.
Yeah. It's been an intense year, but, yeah, man, head injuries are no joke, and it's definitely like the slowest healing injury you can have. And this is a pretty big answer to your question. Have you had any near-death experiences surfing? But
yeah, I mean, I've also heard a story that you got held up at gunpoint.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was like that's when I left California. I was living in Santa Monica. I was like squatting in this like little tiny garage apartment that basically was like a storage unit next to a garage in an apartment unit. You could like touch both the walls. And I had all my music gear in there, and I would park my Ford Explorer, and I would like sneak in at night and sleep. I was paying $100 a month to live in Santa Monica. This is like 2017, 2018. And you know the brand Amiri?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were doing something with Amiri. They loved all of our old like punk heavy stuff. Yeah. And they were like, we want to fly you to Paris. We want you to like play our fashion week, and like, you know, during the runway, we want you to be playing these old songs of yours. And we were like, cool. So we were doing rehearsals for that. This is in January of 2018, and it was raining in LA. Got done a little bit late. Was in that little apartment unit at like 11:30 p.m. and walked back out to my car to get something, and was like on my phone in my car, and yeah, got a knock on my driver window from someone with a gun and a mask, and then they had another friend of theirs on the other side of the window of the car, and yeah, dude, PTSD is no joke. You have no control over the nerves in your body and where they take you, and
oh my god,
you know, all day you could be like, dude, this happens to people all the time, like this isn't a big deal, but when your adrenaline levels and your cortisol gets to a certain level, like your body doesn't really ever come down from those levels. And if it does, it's a very slow, intense process.
So what they do? What were they trying to steal? Your car? Or?
Who knows? I'd probably look for weed money, man. Yeah. And I had my phone like under my leg, and I had my car keys in my hand, and maybe my wallet in my glove box, but I wasn't going to give them my phone. I wasn't going to give them my keys. They looked young and scared, man. They were probably 18-year-olds, you know, LA kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was kind of shaking when he was asking, like, give me everything you have multiple times. It was the night of my birthday, too. It was like my 21st birthday.
What a fucked up birthday, dude. No.
I know.
You're squatting in LA. It's like you have these big dreams of going to Paris soon, and then all of a sudden, bam, wake the fuck up.
Dude. Yeah, literally. What a way to grow up from like an 18 and 20-year-old.
How long did it take you not to sleep in your car anymore? Like the PTSD of like not thinking about you're always going to get robbed.
I mean, I actually just started renting a room here in San Diego. It's the first apartment I've rented in like 7 years. So I've continued to live in my car and weird tiny homes and stuff. But I kept sleeping in my car. I drove to Malibu that night and like slept on the side of the highway along the one and couldn't sleep that night. I was like, oh man, went on Reddit, of course, out of fear, and was just like reading about PTSD and was like, no way, this isn't going to happen.
Right.
And normally PTSD takes like a month to onset. And so 1 month later in Paris, on the Paris trip, last night of the Paris trip, yeah, like reality just got really weird. Life felt strange, couldn't sleep. Was just extremely anxious, and that was kind of the start of this like 10-month journey of feeling messed up all the time. But any sort of like ting, like, you know, my girlfriend would be cooking and like bang the spatula on the sink. That was like, you know, knocking of a gun on a window. It would just like, yeah.
Oh man, did you
that happened for?
Did you go to therapy or anything? Like, how'd you deal with it? How did it take 10 months?
I really didn't. I think that I tried therapy for a second, but the biggest thing, it's all about, I got to find the right therapist, and like, I feel like half of them are no good.
Yeah, half of them are shit.
Yeah. But I moved to Portland. I think mostly out of just like, I got to get out of here, especially being in the zone. So sold my SUV, got a camper, picked up my dog in Santa Cruz, and drove up to Portland and was like, this is sick. So got community and like got me in a better place. And I feel like that's what really pulled me out of all that time too,
Yeah, people are afraid to leave what's comfortable. It's like you could say that about your hometown. You could say that about the first time, your first breakup. Like, people don't want to get out of relationships. I mean, what the true thing about freedom is doing what you want to do when you feel like it's necessary. Why did you feel like you had to leave New York? And then we'll talk about your LA years.
I grew up on a camp, man. I grew up like camping with my dad at a summer camp, and
so crazy.
I was in New York, man. It was like,
city kitty.
And every corner looked the same. Like, I got claustrophobic, and every day off I had from this like little furniture job I had, it was like I would just go to Rockaway and put on this 6mm wetsuit and try to learn how to surf in March. And it was like, why am I living here if I don't even want to enjoy the city? So that's when I just like I had a visit to my parents' house, but just didn't take the return flight home, and got my little Ford Explorer from when I went to high school in, and it was still parked at my parents' house, and just drove to LA on a whim at like 19 years old. Lived out of my car along the beach and squatted in Santa Monica garages. And that's, I learned how to surf then, and kind of moved there for music, but then met some like music hot shots and was talking to managers and just trying to be like cool LA musician guy and trying to fit into this mold, and stuff was happening. And it was like, man, what do I really want to do every day? I want to like have time, have just enough money to like eat and survive.
Right.
And I want to surf every day and just like hang out with people and enjoy the sunshine. So that's when I just canceled all the little connections I had in LA and deleted my Instagram for like a year and a half. And it wasn't until a PTSD event that I re-picked up music, because it was like, I want to do music for community. I want to like redo this thing so I can meet people and have a solid community. And music's totally done that for me. It's been beautiful.
That's great. So that was the recharge of music. Tell me about the time where you said fuck music in LA, like you're dealing with all these fucking people who are kind of fake and stuff. What were those years like? What did you learn from the LA music scene that made you say, I'm done for a year and a half or something?
I think it was like trying to write music for other people was the biggest thing.
Right.
Meeting this manager and being like, this is really good, Griff, but do you think you could do better? And being like, yeah, I could do better. Yeah. Let me just scratch this and do better. And then when I tried to write again, it was like, why am I trying to do better? This isn't natural.
Yeah.
So that it just felt like I was writing music for LA and not for me. And that's when I kind of just scratched it. And because I feel like that one of the main reasons as a kid you want to be a musician is like famous rock star and money and getting whatever you want. But that's not me. And I figured out that that's not me, and I quickly put an end to it.
Let's fucking go. That's the punk rock mentality I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Griff. That shit is what I'm talking about. I mean, I grew up in LA chasing the rabbit's tail. I used to work for record labels like Drive Through Records, Capitol, because I wanted to always be in a band, but everyone told me I couldn't because it was that LA bullshit. Oh, you could do better. Yeah. You could sing better. You could, you could wear different clothes better. I'm like, and it bums you out. And just like the reason like we got into music, I don't know about you, but the reason I got into music was like seeing the freedom that the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, like Henry Rollins and stuff, like those dudes were fucking free, dude. They said whatever they want. They crowd surfed. They did whatever they want. They pissed if they wanted to on the floor. I'm like, that shit is rock and roll. Do you think rock and roll's dead? That type of rock and roll?
I don't think so. I think probably that type of rock and roll, yeah. But rock and roll is like morphed into something so much cooler. Maybe not cooler, but it's morphed into something way rad. That's definitely still around, you know?
What do you like about new, like, explain what the new rock and roll is to you.
I think the new rock and roll is like genreless, you know, it could be EDM, it could be whatever, jazz, like a jazz concert. But I feel like when people come to the concerts wanting a good time and provide, like we just got done with a tour and playing like Santa Cruz in this like crusty venue. Those kids went crazy.
We're Catalyst?
Like it was the Catalyst.
Yeah, I love that room. It's a great room.
Crust, but so fun. Yeah. And they know it's crust, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, I don't feel like rock and roll is the band. It's like rock and roll is just the room, you know, like everyone in the room, the band, everything at once. And when people are just getting rowdy, I feel like that's rock and roll, you know?
So it's like the idea of, you know, the energy in the room is still rock and roll.
Yes.
How important is to get alone time when you're with somebody?
What do you mean?
Like say when you're in a relationship. I know I could tell like alone time is so important to you. You live in a fucking van.
Yeah.
You're always by yourself with your dog, it seems like. But then when you get a partner, but you still need that other part of your life. That other part.
For sure.
You know? So how hard is it to like balance that in with your brain, how you react to being alone?
It's pretty important, man. I definitely need my me time. I'm an introvert. And I recharge when I'm alone. So I've only been in one pretty serious relationship in the past like 5 years, and definitely was tough, but it was half of the relationship was COVID. So there was plenty of alone time. So I'm probably still somewhat navigating just how to do that, you know, but I definitely need my me time. And I need a partner that's like, yeah, you're good to just go fly fish in the mountains alone for a week, you know, or most girlfriends I'd be like, why would you do that without me? You know, but right. Especially with tour, it's so hectic and yeah, man, I need that slow time for sure.
Yeah. How do you find that alone time when you're always with everyone on tour?
We had our first bus tour.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna clap for that too. Let's go, Griff. Let's go. Make it money, big dog.
And you know, you've been on a bus before,
yeah.
And they had the bunks. You know, the bunks are like, once that curtain's closed, nobody's allowed to mess with you.
Yeah.
And so I would get in there and I'd bring my headphones with me and put on ambient music and meditate, focus on breath work. And there's also the back lounge that do the same thing. So meditation's probably the biggest thing for me. In the morning on the bus, I'd get up and go for a 3-mile run with Sadie and make my NutriBullet, like green juice, just try and have the most like routine that I have at home on the tour, because tours, you're like a vampire, man. You're like up at night, you know, the bus is dark, the venue's dark, you're never really outside. So
yeah,
it's good to have some routine.
The blackout cabinets in the bus, I mean, you never see daytime if you're
never.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You know, you talk about how important your dog is. Do you take your dog out on the road with you?
I do, yeah, dude. She's laying sleeping right now. She's our best friend, man. She goes on tour with us too. Runs around the venue at sound check and load in. All the venue staff always love her.
Yeah.
She's eating weird things off the ground from the night before, I'm sure, but she's great, man.
Do you think your dog helped you with you didn't have this dog when you were going through your PTSD, right?
I got her at the end of it, and hell yeah, she helped.
Yeah. What did you learn about having a presence like that to help you cope with your PTSD?
Dude, I don't think I'd realized how lonely I was living out of a car by myself. Right. Even when you surf with someone for an hour in the middle of the day, you still might go 2 days without seeing anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Most like van lifers or whatever have girlfriends or boyfriends, you know, they have their partner with them. And yeah, I was just lonely. It was good to have her in the truck with me whenever I got her. It was great, man.
Isn't it crazy how we don't understand loneliness when we're lonely? We think it's something else, but it's really just depression and loneliness. Why do you think our brains like not tell us this is loneliness? Maybe we didn't know what loneliness is. Like, were you ever lonely when you were a kid, or like, did you understand depression or anything?
Not really. I had anxiety as a kid, but not really loneliness until drove out west and lived in my truck and was literally alone.
Yeah.
But man, people and animals are pretty great.
You know, I think of stand-up comedians. They travel by themselves. They're always in these different
Do they
towns.
really?
Yeah, man. They go by themselves. They'll fly in to fly into the venue where the venue normally has like house condo for 2 days, and they're just by themselves. And you know, they deplete themselves from like beating off and just like low depression, low dopamine. You know, it's like I have a lot of musician friends, and like they need the loneliness, but it also to like feed their art or feed their soul a little bit. But it's so important to have some sort of companionship, like a dog, or being okay with the loneliness. Like, do you remember a time when the loneliness just took over you?
I would say just during that PTSD time, man. Post traumatic stress disorder is pretty gnarly with loneliness. And I was lonely before the event happened too. And afterwards it was just like, dude, you start getting in your head about stuff too, and you're anxious. You don't have anybody to talk to anything with. But it's pretty great not being a comedian because you got your band, and you got your tour manager, your light guy, your sound guy. It's like you're always with people, and that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does sound terrible. You know, I don't know. I've always thought I could be alone a lot, and I need my alone time. But being on tour and being alone is even, that's harder because
there's no familiarity where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of tour, this is the Bonnaroo episode. So, you guys, have you done Bonnaroo before?
No, I'm so amped, dude.
Dude,
I'm so stoked.
Us too. We're playing Thursday. What day are you playing?
Fuck yeah. We're playing Thursday. We're playing Thursday at 11:30 in like a tent.
Dude, we're playing right after you. We play at 1. We're on the same stage. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. So let's talk about these big festivals. Give me your first experience of like playing a big ass festival, like huge crowd. Were you nervous? Give me, what festival was it?
So nervous.
Yeah, tell me, give me some stories of the first time you played something huge like that.
Dude, Mopop Fest in Detroit.
Holy shit.
Have you played that?
No, but I heard it's wild, dude.
It was pretty wild. But yeah, man, it's probably like 10,000, 7,000.
Holy shit.
Which at the time, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I didn't have a manager yet, so I booked the whole thing and literally booked our Airbnb in Canada. And it took us like an hour and a half to literally get across the river every day.
Get the passports out every day just to do Mopop.
Yeah, we did. It's like, what are you doing today? In the customs, they like asked, like, why are you going across the border? We're playing a show. Oh, the little festival. What's your band called? And I tell him, and he'd be like, yo, have you heard of Goth Babe? I was like, his friend said no. And then apparently the guy was just like, we don't fucking know who you are, but you're welcome to go on through.
Welcome to Canada.
Wait, dude. Canadian border crossing is gnarly. They're like very unfriendly.
It's the worst. We had strip tease. We had street searched. Like they made us like open up our assholes and shit. It was like nuts, dude. You get afro. You know, you have our van said "Follow your dreams" on it and shit. They're like, we're pulling these motherfuckers over for sure. So, what's the biggest show you've ever done?
Outside Lands.
What was that?
Last November.
What happened? Give it
25.
Holy fuck.
25,000. Dude.
How do you even think?
So gnarly.
What do you do? Like, what's your process?
I felt terrible all day. It's just like nerves and had a migraine out of anxiety. But dude, during the moment, it's just like, this is wild, you know? It kind of flashes you back to being like high school in your bedroom writing punk music, and you kind of like communicating with that part of yourself, being like, dude, you did it. This is epic. Yeah.
It's like, did you take a step back and realize like, shit, look where I am right now?
Yeah. And why? Why am I here right now? This is
why me?
Why me? You know, it's you just get lucky, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're a badass. Grit. You know, you're a bad motherfucker,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
You're a great songwriter. So so do you think, you know, I think about this too. Like, do you think the anxiety helps us stay focused to make the best set of music we can when we're in that situation?
During playing live?
No, like you say, the ramp up. You know, it's like kind of like the rat in the cage syndrome. It's like the anxiety of I just want to get this thing fucking done.
Dude, yeah, for sure. But I feel like I play worse shows when I'm in that mode.
Yeah,
personally,
really.
I feel like when I'm chill, I put on the best show. When I'm just an anxious mess, it's never as good.
You ever like what about?
Well, there's been a couple good ones when I was really anxious, but.
What about when there's like important like industry people in there? Do you fuck up more, or is it you don't care?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think about it for sure.
Yeah, why?
I almost want my manager like not tell me. You know?
Yeah. That's. I think that's better for our mind state. I mean, they want to tell you because you're excited, but you need to perform. You need to execute.
Definitely.
Or maybe you're already executing. You would kill it regardless.
There you go.
You know, you're a fucking pro. And it's just trusting yourself.
Yeah, LA is the one that you're always like, there's multiple industry here, or New York.
Yeah.
And so those are always going to be hard.
What about, do you get bummed out when like, say a music reviewer like just shits on your art?
I don't read that, man. I've never read those.
Good for you. Man, you need to teach me how to fucking not think so much about these fucking assholes, dude. See, like,
dude, I don't even, but like, what are they doing? You know,
exactly.
And who are they to say that it's good? Not, it's art. Art can be good to one person and bad to another.
Yeah, it's like they're just trolling from their fucking New York 1-bedroom condo. Suck it.
Are we
trolls.
shot now? Is this Pitchfork right now? We're talking.
No comment. I plead the fifth. No, but yeah, it's true, man. Griff, I know you got to go. I just want to say thank you so much for your time. You seem like an amazing dude, and I can't wait. We should go have a beer or something. I don't know if you drink, but let's go hang out at Bonnaroo and let's get to know each other. I would love that, man. I'll send you.
Sounds good.
I'll send your publicist my phone number and shoot me a text. All right. Oh, yeah. Last but not least, I want to ask, when it's all said and done, what do you think? What do you want Goth Babe to be remembered by?
Massive question. Introspective. What's the answer? I'm gonna say like being a stand-up musician that didn't do it for the wrong reasons and was a musician that didn't do it for fame or money or clout and doing it to show off, but did it for like purpose. Mm-hmm. Like supporting climate action or like getting people together, like having my shows just be a great place to go, even alone.
Right.
And just meet people and just create a really rad community. Yeah, I think that'd probably be what I'd want to walk away from.
That's beautiful, bud. That's what I forgot to mention, talk to you about. What makes you so fascinated with climate action?
It's hard to go out and enjoy these places and not want to care about them or notice that they're changing. Like it's really easy to notice that they're changing quickly. I don't know, man. I think like it won't be as big of a deal for us, but there's many people that come on this planet that haven't, been born yet. And I'm sure would love to enjoy these same places that we're enjoying. Mm-hmm. I'd love if my grandkids could go see Yosemite and it wouldn't be a shit show, things like that. Or like this beach here, hopefully the seas don't rise too much and they're able to come surf here at high tide still or something like that. So I don't know, man.
So it's basically an idea of we got to stop being so fucking selfish.
Yeah, but it's also really hard because being selfish environmentally is really just living comfortably.
I know.
So it's almost like living uncomfortably is the way to help the planet. But I think the big things are like legislative things, like supporting the companies that are putting people in front of Congress and making big decisions on like our national parks or Bureau of Land Management, things like this. it's incredible to like have a, reusable water bottle, but like I think the massive things are the big oil heads and politicians and those guys, man, they're freaking running the show.
I know.
And
it's fucked.
Yeah.
I think
so, and it's all greed, money.
That's what I'm saying. Like money, I don't know why we chase money so much when it just causes evil.
Yeah. Because it's power, man. We all want power, don't we?
Yeah, that's why
I got a question for you.
What's up, dog?
I heard you're big into microdose.
I am, bro. Yeah, I love.
You are?
Yeah, man. I had PTSD too. I do 250 shows a year, for the last 15 years since I was 18, 19. And I didn't know what depression was until I had my first panic attack, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't like you. I didn't trust therapy yet, and I didn't feel like the therapists who do my parents and my fucking sisters who are doctors and the suburbia Calabasas people were gonna understand their fucking wannabe rock star living in a van sibling. So I took on psilocybin for 5 years, and it changed my life, and it got me through depression, man. You into psilocybin?
Dude, that's all the brain stuff. I've been in some of the darkest places in the past year and canceled tours and many shows. And
why?
I've spent all because of I had two brain injuries. They just caused me severe anxiety, depression. Everything your brain does was messed up. Like I couldn't sleep well. I would get brain fatigue, even like grocery shopping, and have to go home. Migraines daily, vision disturbances, dizziness, all these things. And dude, I've spent upwards of like, gosh, I haven't entered the 6-figure mark, but definitely like $30,000-$40,000 in medical care to try and fix my brain this past year.
Wow.
And after the medical stuff didn't work, got put on all these medications, one after the other, to try and fix my brain. Did ice bath stuff, Wim Hof constantly, exercise. Just, dude, I exhausted every option. And psilocybin was like a last ditch effort this past month, and took a heavier dose, and have been doing like 3 days off, 3 on, 3 off with microdosing. And it's been like the improvement is like stupid how fast it's been in the course of like a month. Yeah. Whereas it's taken me 11, 12 months just to get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, I feel slightly better. Psilocybin, it was just instant, dude. It's been so beautiful.
The great rewire, bro. I don't get why it's illegal. I mean, because they can't fund it because people can't get paid on it, and shame on them. Did you have to be on? Did they put you on antidepressants? Like, what were they doing?
Yeah, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, and it was gnarly, dude. I was on a lot of stuff, and not much worked. Nothing really worked, and nobody can see an injury that's in your head, know. So it's like, we're gonna keep booking you shows. I had these shows booked. Well, I think I'm okay to do it. It was pretty bad, and dude, microdosing and psilocybin is like the most beautiful medicine for your brain there ever was. It's so awesome.
Have you watched that Junior Seau documentary? You know who Junior Seau is? Junior Seau was a linebacker or was he a defensive tackle? Something for the Chargers. And he had so many concussions that he said, man. Yeah. And he said his brain was not working. No one believed him. And he committed suicide, shot his heart so people could study his brain. And it was because of the fucking concussions, dude. And you are not alone in that. I'm fucking thankful you found mushrooms at the end. Let's go, big dog. Griff, my guy. Heal up, dog. It's so fucking, isn't it crazy how instant it is? Like, why couldn't our doctors tell us that psilocybin helps for this in the first place?
It's illegal because these people aren't going to fight your wars, man. And so it's very makes sense why it became illegal when it became illegal. And so since then, nobody's going to mess with it if it's illegal. But there's so many studies going on right now with John Hopkins and double-blind placebo studies that are coming back so successful. And Dude, it's neuroplasticity. That's the biggest thing for your brain. And
right.
with trauma, whether it's head trauma or, a traumatic event's happened to you, it's your brain's like blocking off certain pathways that causes what it thinks is harm and opening up, or it's just going down these anxious ones to try and protect itself.
Right. Suppression,
right? Mushrooms are literally, yeah. And these mushrooms are literally like reopening pathways in your brain that haven't been opened in, half a decade for me. And
what was
it's so cool.
When you first took that big heroic dose, what was the first thing that came into your head that you were suppressing? Like that you didn't even realize you were suppressing?
Yeah. You probably know, it's like you're going back into your like 12-year-old self.
Yeah, dude,
you're able to like see everything. For me, it was like, buddy, you're gripping so hard on life. Like anxiety is trying to control your reality around you constantly, and you'll never be able to succeed. Right. So you're just like constantly just gripping. And that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, just let go and flow with the good days and flow with the bad days. If you have a killer migraine tonight, you just need to flow with it. If you have dizziness tomorrow, just go with it. This is not going to last forever, but if you continue to fight that feeling with anxiety, it's just going to like provoke more symptoms, and you're going to continue to live with this shit. So,
and when you've heard that information and like your shoulders kind of dropped and like you've started leaning back a little more, did you cry and say like, wow, this is the most...
I bawled my eyes out, dude.
Me too, man.
It is...
I was the same exact. It's so fulfilling to finally let go of shit that was controlling you since you were fucking 12 years old.
Yeah. It's crazy what the brain can do.
I know.
It's crazy what negatives it could do, but it's also so cool that it could just, if you give it the right tools, it will just reheal itself. It's so beautiful.
Fucking Griff, I'm thankful, bro. I'm gonna stand up for you. Buddy, enjoy the van. Enjoy your time in Encinitas, and I'll give you my number. Let's be friends, bro. I really feel like we're in common denominators here. And
definitely.
Let's hang out at Bonnaroo.
Down, man.
All right, buddy. Well, enjoy that alone time before you play for 25,000 people on Thursday. Have a good one, buddy.
Yes, sir. All right, buddy.
Later,
cheers,
bud.
man.
There you go. There we go. Fuck yeah. You know who's a good band? Lettuce.
I knew you were going to say that because you just saw him.
And the professionalism.
I'm down to just talk. They were like my favorite band when I was like 21.
I don't want to blow. I don't want to suck.
Well, they already know they're really good, so it's like.
But it was nice to see them like
do the show.
Before the show, we're like, hey, we can't hang out right now because we have to have band practice. And our guest room where we're chugging beers and having fun.
It's very different.
Just hear, all right, actually, let's do another line with that, please.
And you're like nerds, and they go out and they play the fucking sickest show you've ever seen.
It's pretty sick.
Their new album's dope too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's some mixed amazingly.
I interviewed Nigel.
Oh yeah, I don't know him. He's the one I know the least.
Nigel Hall. Got heavy, dude. It was Nigel Hall and Jen Hartzog. I'm gonna put that out there in the Peach Fest episodes.
It's not that long either. It's like next month.
We got a big June and July coming up, bud. We're doing 2 episodes a week.
What?
For 5 Bonnaroo 5 Peach Fest episodes, we're doing 2 a week, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Damn, are they rich or something?
They just want to do 5 episodes in 3 weeks.
Oh.
So you're going to be hearing a lot of different interviews. I stockpiled a bunch of interviews for the Peach Fest. I didn't get Trey Anastasio. He still doesn't want to talk to me.
I don't think he does a lot of this stuff.
No, I think, it's also, I don't want to step on my boy Ari Fink's toes. He's the fish interviewer, you know?
Yeah.
And Ari's my guy.
Yeah, I think it's fine where it is. You know,
who was I talking to?
Why don't you interview like Fishman?
They don't want to fuck with me.
Oh, none of them?
None of them want to fuck with me.
I could see why.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have a great week. What are you gonna do? I'm gone for a couple
this week.
Weeks,
I have a lot of stuff to get ready for gig wise coming up.
Fuck.
I'm doing an after party for your Red Rock show. That's one of them.
I did see that. Were you New Conscious?
New Conscious is dope. It's $30.
It was so 30.
Open bar.
That's tight.
You give me $30. I give you all the booze you can drink. You're a Frasco fan. Put them out of business.
Yeah.
I want this to be the last show ever at New Conscious because you guys drank everything.
I laughed so hard. You know, those typical Denver fucking super band cover bands.
Mm-hmm.
flyers. To see Andy Avila in the jam scene fucking flyer is fucking hilarious.
And I named it Denver After Party Band.
Yeah, the Denver After Party Band.
That's what it is.
I love it.
Then I'm also doing
we're playing Red Rocks with Umphreys on the 18th. Go buy your tickets.
Yeah, so go to that and then come to my after party. It's in Denver. It's like not 20 minutes away. You got plenty of time. We're going late and you can drink legally.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun. Okay, have a great week.
Bye.
Bye. Love yourself.
Love
yourself.
others.
Love others.
Touch yourself.
Touch yourself.
Don't touch others unless you have consent.
Don't touch others unless you have consent. And
Yep,
yeah, goodbye.